You know, there's a massive gold rush happening right now, but forget the precious metals. This one is for data, for talent, and for pure, raw computing power. We're going to dive into how this insane race for artificial intelligence is completely flipping the script on the high-stakes world of corporate mergers, basically creating a brand new playbook for how deals get done.
Okay, so here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll look at the sheer scale of this new boom. Then, we'll get into the strategy behind it. After that, we'll see how AI isn't just the prize, it's also the tool. We'll ask the big question, are we in a bubble? Then, we'll talk about where people, humans, still fit in. And finally, what this all means for the future of making deals.
All right, let's start with the scale of this thing, because it is just staggering. To really get what's going on, you've got to follow the money. And right now there's a tidal wave of cash all flowing to one place, AI. This isn't just some hot trend. It's become a full-on corporate mandate.
Just look at that number, $2.6 trillion. That's the total value of global deal-making in 2025 alone, the highest we've seen in years. And this huge surge? It wasn't just the market bouncing back. Nope, it was fueled by this intense, almost desperate need in every industry to buy up and bake in AI capabilities, pretty much at any cost.
But here's what's really fascinating. Look at the kind of companies being snapped up here. These aren't just the flashy AI model startups. The biggest deals are for the boring stuff. The essential plumbing of AI, security, data quality, real-time processing. This tells you there's been a massive strategic shift.
And that gets us to the new playbook. In a gold rush, the real money wasn't always in finding gold. It was in selling the picks and shovels. Well, in the AI age, companies are scrambling to own the digital version of those tools.
So the old M&A logic, just buying your competitor to get more customers, that's kind of getting tossed out the window. Today, the real prize, the stuff that's truly valuable, are the building blocks of AI itself. We're talking about the brilliant engineers, the massive data centers, and, even the energy grids needed to power the whole shebang.
And this really hits the nail on the head. For big companies, this isn't optional anymore. Controlling the entire supply chain for AI, from the brainpower to the power plant, is now seen as absolutely critical for survival.
So if everyone's out there trying to buy the picks and shovels, how are they finding the best ones? Well, here's the crazy part. AI isn't just the thing companies are buying, it's also becoming the main tool they use to hunt for, analyze, and close these huge deals.
Just think about it. Every single part of the traditionally slow, painful M&A process is getting a massive speed boost. AI can now spot potential takeover targets that aren't even on the market, tear through their legal and financial documents in a flash, and even figure out the best way to merge two companies after the deal is done.
And let me tell you, the biggest headache has always been due diligence. That's the part where teams of lawyers and analysts spend weeks, even months, buried in paperwork, just trying to find any hidden problems. And that number says it all. Slashing that time by 75% doesn't just save a ton of money, it's a total game changer. It frees up the smartest people in the room to stop doing paperwork and start focusing on strategy and negotiation.
AI is also changing how we figure out what a company is even worth. Instead of just one static price tag, something like a Monte Carlo simulation runs thousands of what-if scenarios. It's like going from a single snapshot to a full-blown weather forecast. It shows buyers the whole range of what could happen financially and, more importantly, the real risk of paying way too much.
But all of this frantic buying, fueled by super smart AI, it raises a huge, flashing red flag. With so much hype and money flying around, are we actually in a real technological revolution, or are we just pumping up the next giant bubble?
And that's really the tension at the heart of this whole thing. I mean, even as companies are dropping billions to get a piece of the action, the very people signing the checks are getting nervous about these sky-high prices.
And these numbers are pretty stark. A recent survey showed that a whopping 71% of corporate leaders, the same people driving these deals, think AI prices are getting out of control. So they're buying in, but they're also deeply worried that this can't last.
And it's not just about the money. The tech itself has real risks. You have AI hallucinations, where the model just confidently makes stuff up, which could be a disaster in a billion-dollar deal. Then you've got data bias, major security holes, and this black box problem, where you can't even tell how the AI came to a conclusion. It's a recipe for things to go very wrong.
So, with all those risks, what's the role of the human deal maker in all this? Well, this gets to maybe the most important point. AI is an unbelievable tool, for sure, but it's not the entire toolbox.
What seems to be happening is a move toward a hybrid model. You let the AI do what it's amazing at,
crunching insane amounts of data at lightning speed. But you leave the stuff that's uniquely human, like strategic judgment, figuring out if two company cultures will actually work together, ethical questions, and just building trust, you leave that to the people. And this is exactly what that looks like in the real world. The best new software platforms, they aren't trying to replace people, they're designed to be co-pilots. They augment the human team, they do all the heavy lifting with the numbers so that the deal makers can focus on the art of the deal.
So, what's the big takeaway here? What should you remember from all this? The most important thing is that this AI gold rush, it's not just a temporary fad. It's a permanent, fundamental change to how companies think about strategy and create value.
I mean, this quote just says it all, right? Speed, intelligence, data, those are the new currencies of corporate power. The companies that figure out this new AI-driven way of doing things are going to have a massive leg up for years to come.
And that leaves us with one last big question. We've seen how AI has completely turned the world of M&A on its head, so you have to wonder, where is this powerful mix of money, strategy, and artificial intelligence going to turn its attention next? Because whatever industry it is, it probably won't be the same for very long.